Hello and welcome to another video of DV360 course, and in this video we're going to quickly go through the account hierarchy in Display and Video 360 because it's a bit different, it's more extensive, so a lot of people get confused. So it's better to first basically tackle this to get you familiar with this, and then we move to our UI. So if you log into DV360, you will see that there'll be something called as partner and there'll be advertisers. And you will see different things in the navigation panel here, for example, reports, resources, whatever. And if you click on advertisers, then you see a list of advertisers. Then when you click on advertisers, there are new options you see in the navigation panel. So basically, it's very important to understand how the hierarchy in DV360 is. For example, to give you an idea, if you're aware with Google Ads, if you know in Google Ads, there's something called an MCC account or manager's account under which you have different ad accounts, right? So MCC account is basically a placeholder for ad accounts. And in turn, ad accounts contain campaigns. Within campaigns, you have ad groups, and then you have ads. So basically, this hierarchy or this folder kind of setup is done by these ad platforms to basically let you control different things at different levels. For example, at ad account level, you just add payment method once, right? So you don't have to, every time you have a new campaign, you don't need to add payment methods again and again. So similarly, at campaign levels, for example, you target a geo, for example, your campaign is targeted to only India, and you don't have to select the same country again in ad group level or ads level for every ad, because it will become very complicated. So these ad accounts have created this hierarchical setup so that things you need for all the entities within that entity, you control it at once. And similarly, the similar kind of setup is in Meta Ads, where you have Business Manager, you have ad account. Within Business Manager, you can have multiple ad accounts. So for example, generally an agency creates a Business Manager account, and then you have ad account for each of your clients, for example. Or for some companies, big brands, they have one Business Manager account, then for each country they have a separate ad account. So it's up to the company how you use this basically hierarchical setup. Then you have campaigns, then you have ad sets, which is like ad group in Google Ads, which contains basically these ads. If you have to basically club together different kind of ads, you have ad sets. So one ad set for search ads, and similarly you can do a lot of stuff with this setup. And if you basically try to relate it to DV360, there's just one extra level, because DV360 is used by bigger companies who have bigger setups. They need more control sometimes. So there is an additional layer. So for example, you can compare a partner account with an MCC account or business manager account in Meta, and then you have advertiser account, which you can control to basically an ad account. And then at campaign level, you have basically campaign and insertion order in DV360, which is like an additional level. And I'll show you examples how companies generally use it, but you can use it for anything. Basically, you just have one extra layer of hierarchy. And then line item is like ad group in Google Ads, and like an ad set in basically Meta Ads. That's the easiest way to look at it. Now, to give you an idea, this is exactly how like all the companies and agencies I have worked with basically use it. So you have a partner account, which is like the master DV360 account, often managed by an agency or large advertiser. At this level, you control billing, access and permissions, brand safety and integrations. For example, if you want to have integration with Looker Studio, analytics or whatever, generally you do it at this level. To give you an example, a partner account generally is like Adidas Global. So Adidas has just one partner account all across the world. And Boopin UAE is an agency. They have one partner account. All their clients are managed within this. I'll show you. Similarly, WPP agency in India, like it's a very big agency. Let's say they'll have one partner account. In certain cases, they will manage partner accounts of their clients as well, but as an agency, they'll have one partner account. Similarly, under partner, you have one or multiple advertisers. So for example, each brand or business unit under one partner. At advertiser level, you control pixels, creative library, inventory deals, and brand exclusions. To give you an example, like Adidas Global Partner account will have an advertiser for each of their entity. For example, Adidas MENA, Adidas India, Adidas US or North America, and things like that. One thing you have to remember is sometimes you have these pixels at advertiser level. If you have it for multiple clients, one advertiser account for each client. So basically you can create these creative library, inventory deals, and all these pixels separate in each of the advertiser accounts so that you don't mix or you have signed, let's say, NDAs. Similarly, Boopin UAE will have under partner account, they'll have one advertiser account for each of their client, like Emirates, hospitals, Paytm, and stuff like that. Then each advertiser basically represents one brand or a brand entity under which you have multiple campaigns. So a group of insertion orders, and at campaign level you control budgets, start and end dates, frequency caps. So for example, Adidas Global partner account will have one advertiser account as Adidas MENA, and one of the campaigns within that advertiser will be summer campaign, autumn campaign, spring campaign. Similarly, Bupin will have, let's say for example, for Emirates hospitals, they'll have a brand launch campaign, right? There'll be multiple campaigns within this advertiser, all belonging to the same client. And then under campaign, you have insertion orders, generally represents a buying strategy or part of a campaign. At this level, you control like targeting, pacing, budgets, PG deals. So for example, you can have within this summer campaign, you will have one of the IOs as prospecting, one of the IOs as remarketing. Similarly, sometimes, for example, for a brand launch campaign for Emirates Hospital, you will have two insertion orders, let's say launch phase, conversion phase, post-launch phase, whatever, pre-launch phase. So basically one campaign sometimes has multiple phases. So insertion order is a very good level to control all this. Or in certain cases, what companies do is, so for example, if it's Emirates Hospital has a GCC campaign, they have a separate insertion order for one for UAE, one for Kuwait, one for things like that, because you can control like budgets. You have certain budget for UAE, certain budget for Kuwait, and targeting you can select, let's say, different countries, and it's a very good level to basically control all this. And one more thing, like, so for example, you have certain PG deals with multiple publishers, then you have open exchange campaigns, so you can control all at insertion order. So for example, you have one campaign, a brand launch campaign, then you have PG deal insertion order, then you have open auction, and then within insertion order, then you have line item like an ad group in Google Ads, the actual buying step where you choose inventory, targeting, bidding strategy, and creatives. And you basically control inventory type, bid strategy, goals, creative you assign to this ad line item. And for example, one campaign can have a YouTube line item, display banners line item, custom audience line item. Just like Google Ads, one campaign can have only one format, one line item can only have one format. Just remember that as well. So this is the easiest way to explain the hierarchy in DV360. It'll be super clear when we actually create a campaign, but to be honest with you, from my experience, it's very important to first get like familiar with all this before we jump into the UI. And that's all for this video. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.